seemed like it was just kind of one of those days. You had all those chances, all those opportunities, just not seem to go right really at the front of goal.
I think it was a bit deeper than that. You know, we have had a lot of chances, enough to win 2 games, but just that last bit, that clinical bit. You know, I'm looking at a team there that you know, they've done it all season. In the big moments, they've come good and been really calm and precise on the last bit. But today, certainly first half, we rushed so much going forward when we was attacking. Rushed the opportunity, didn't miss the first man, didn't pick players out, and it's mad because it's all we're working in training. You know, that precision of work, quality of work. So that's a disappointing aspect for me today, that we've created so much, opened them up so many times, and only got 1 goal. But the second goal, you know, the first goal is exquisite. It's a fantastic goal to. You know, to put them ahead. It really is an excellent goal, outstanding execution by boy Grimes. The second goal, you know, I don't want to see goals like that going in. Not many have this season, and certainly when I've been in charge. But you know, it's a bad goal to give away, a second goal to give them an edge. And I keep saying to this team, if we can't win it, don't lose it. And they've not been able to do that today. But you know, our quality work going forward has to be better than what it's been today.
In particular, did anybody shine it for you from your side? I mean.
We huffed and puffed, we really did, you know what I mean. Ryan Lowe's put a shift in, and a good shift in, a good quality shift. I think he's pulled into some excellent positions at times. Nards could have hit him first half, Nick Adams could have slipped him in, Jonah could have hit him 2 or 3 times. Our end product just weren't there, so you know, Lowe's put a shift in. Tom Saws has put a shift in, scored an excellent goal, and you know, really had a tough afternoon, but he stuck to it and he kept battling and kept going. And them's about the 2 players that I would pick out.
A bit of a decent shout for a penalty midway through the second half, where it seemed to go up and hit the centre half's arm. What was your take on it?
Well, from our angle, and that's all referees talk about, you know, you've got a different angle to me, so the ref hasn't give it, so I can't really decry it. You know, I've turned around to Paul, the manager, it is, and he's just said it's a definite penalty. Do you know what I mean? He's seen it come up in it. So, but you know, it's really not about that decision. You know, today's defeat has come from us not being clinical and ruthless enough in both boxes, and that's something that we have been, and it's just not been there today.
However, I suppose it's a decent problem to have, not being able to score the goals but creating all the chances.
Yeah, we've got creators on the pitch, you know, with Danny Mayer and Dwayne Holmes and Nicky Adams, Lowe, Jonah on one flank, Sawsey, so we've got enough creators, and we open teams up for fun. There's not a problem with that. I think we created more chances today than we did against Burton, and obviously beat Burton handsomely. So it's one of them. We've just got to just make sure that the responsibility levels just go up maybe 20%, and on another day, you know, we compete better in that box.
Right, thank you.
How much is that first half? You were all over and weren't you, like a rash? I mean, how much is it just bad decision making really, more than responsibility? You know, just
well,
choices.
just execution as well. You know, execution in that last little bit. We've stretched them, we've pulled them apart, and everything that you want from the game plan. Just that last little bit, that last little punch, that last little bit of bite, but making the wrong decisions. Or, you know, a couple of times when Nicky's got on it, the slip pass to Jonah has run out of play 2 or 3 times, not just once, 2 or 3 times. So that, as a coach, manager, that's the disappointing aspect, Keith, because you know, you really want to see that work we do on the training ground come to fruition on the Saturday. That's why you do your work, and we have a lot of elements of our attacking play and training, and it's not come off for us today.
Yeah, and you look at it, they always say look at the season after 10 games, don't they? Well, you're sitting in the table, so it's been coming off more often than not, hasn't it?
It has. You know, I'm a big believer in performance, and we just weren't at it today, performance, but it was good enough to certainly not get beat today. It was good enough to not get beat, but you know, I just don't want to come away and just not get beat. You know, we want to design a team that wins consistently, which the boys have done. So it's very important that we, you know, kick on next week and really drive these players to a good place towards Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in preparation for a game against Tranmere, because I can't do a lot about this performance here today, but I can certainly do a lot about Saturday's potential performance.
To be fair to the lads, second half it looked like attack against defence, like a drill at the times, didn't it? You were just all over them again.
It did, but you know, I can't accept that. You know, we've got to work. I'm working with real quality players. I'm working with high-end players, and they've got to produce that quality and execute that quality. So that's my job as a manager, to get them out of that. You know, we've not been able to tonight. You know, but we'll work hard on trying to create a winning formula for Saturday again.
I mean, the good thing as well is, last week you got 2 of your strikers scoring goals, midfield's contributed today, so you're getting goals from around the pitch.
Yeah, we've got goal scorers in the team, we've got goal makers in the team, as was evident today. So it doesn't worry me about scoring goals, and we've potentially got the best defensive record in the league. So there's a lot right, but it's galling losing games, and we've come up against a good side today in Exeter, who's in good form. I think that's 3 on the bounce now. And they've given us a good game. It was a good game for a neutral, I think. It was end-to-end stuff. There was a lot of punch in there. It was a real good advert for League Two. But I'm really decrying the moments of quality when we really needed it.
And to be fair, when you did get there, it's not often you see in the home side the goalkeeper gets man of the match, so that says something as well to the pressure.
He was outstanding, wasn't he? I wish they'd put the bandage over his eye, but he didn't. But no, he was outstanding, and great credit to him. He's not the biggest keeper, but he's certainly a brave keeper.
What's the thinking in changing with Nicky at half time? He had one of those games where he couldn't pass for the people in the right shit today, did he?
Sometimes you have them days where it doesn't matter what you try, and the way Nicky is, he wants it so bad. He wants to do so well for the team and for Bury and for myself, and sometimes you can over try, and I think he was trying to do the impossible at times, and it weren't coming off, so it just weren't his day. Plus I did feel as though there was a little hole in their team shape to obviously try and get Dwayne Holmes on the ball, and Dwayne's done good when he's come in. I felt he had 45 minutes in him to go and charge, and the chance falling to Danny Rose in the 90th minute. It's the only player on the pitch that you really want it falling to, and it's Danny Rose-esque diving header. He's athletic, he's got his balance, and I'm just waiting for the net to bulge, and it's a result that's got past us, but the performance was only about a 7 out of 10.
You mentioned Danny there. I mean, at the end of a Craig Jones cross, I mean, it must be wonderful to play, because the ball 9 times out of 10 goes where you want it to go, but sometimes I feel with Danny Mayer and Nicky, the ball doesn't quite go where it wants to go. With Jones, you know where it's going to go, so you can go and anticipate it, can't you?
Potentially, we get goals from Jonah's end product. He's not missed the first man enough today, and he's put 3 over the bar. So I've got to look at that. We'll look at every detail. We'll analyse the game. We'll find out what we got wrong today, and my job as manager is to put it right come Monday. But there was a lot wrong in the end bit, and that's the bit that I enjoy putting together and trying to make cohesive.
What happened with that second goal there? Was it just a bit of a cockable Pablo put his head on?
I'm not too sure. No. I think I thought that Rob took it and caught the ball, but it's almost looked as though he's bounced it on Pabs' head, and it's come loose. It was, like I said, it was, someone's got to take leadership and total control. You can't take 80% control in them situation. You've got to take 100% control to get a positive outcome there.
Is it just a case of sort of putting the shout in, maybe just so Mills got out of the way quicker? I mean,
possibly.
His handling's been quite good, hasn't it? His
crossing the last 4 or 5 games has been exceptional, and he's been really positive with that. So it's one of them we'll look at in detail and try and break it down and see what we could have done better. But I just think someone's got to take complete control. If you get any grey areas in that situation, then you can be in trouble.
Exeter really didn't sort of come into the game until those last sort of 5 minutes. I mean, one of the things that you say is respect the point, isn't it? Did you sort of think at some point, let's just take the point rather than keep on going forward, or is that just the mentality on the side?
Well, you do think that sort of with 5 minutes to go, but I do believe, well, it's like the last minute, with Rosie, go and win the game. But I thought we had enough. I thought we had enough on the pitch to win the game and to see the game out. We've got Cam in the form of his life. We've got Pablo, who's been an incredible, campaigner for us, and so them 3 have locked down the pitch, and Rob's backed it all up. So I had no cause to think, anything different. And Kelvin's been a fulcrum in midfield. So. It was just a case of see it through, be very professional, and try and see it through. But we didn't. So we just gotta dust ourselves down and make sure for next Saturday that we're fully loaded.
I mean, the table's largely irrelevant at this stage of the season, but I guess it gives the team a bit of impetus, a bit of a kick up the backside to when the Tranmere game comes around to go back and reclaim that top spot, I suppose.
Not really a kick up the backside. I think we've just got to make sure that we concentrate on performance and concentrate on getting better as a group. I certainly want to do that as a manager, and the group they do want to get better. And today, if we'd have been 10% better, we win the football match. So you know, it's something that we try to design a plan. We've got to 20 points now from 10 games. You know, and we'll challenge the group to go again.
Okay. Right. Just on another matter, I think it's worth mentioning. It's obviously everyone wants to win a football match, but I think thoughts too. And by the way, credit for Exeter for mentioning condolences to Bury for Fred Mason. You knew him as a player and as a manager. What thoughts have you got?
I think as a player, you know, my thoughts of Fred was the honesty, the sincerity that he had. You know, when I had problems or the team had problems, Fred would be one of high integrity. You know, he never sort of, as a director, he always listened to players, he always understood players, and a genuine man, a gentleman, but someone who had Bury at his heart, and you know, massive sadness obviously for a great man. And I'm just glad last week we gave him the send off, you know, Burton, that he fully deserved.
Which I believe his wife appreciated it. She said at least he's died happy, if that's the right expression.
Well, I think he's been struggling for quite a number of years now, and you know, but certainly I've just got nothing but happy thoughts when I think about him when I was more as a player. I've not seen him obviously as much because he took the management job and he's been poorly, but an outstanding man and an outstanding ambassador for the football club.
And as you know, I mean, we travel up and down the country, going boardrooms, all that. Everybody knew him, didn't they? I mean, everybody knew him throughout the country.
He's one of them men that once you meet him, you know, you want to spend time with him. So personable. Love talking about Bury. You know, he eulogised about Bury, and he put the word out there and put the word out there about us. So it's a deep loss, and one, you know, a man that we should celebrate because he's been massive. He's influenced a lot of Bury. Yeah,
good words. And just one thing on a slightly lighter note. After Torquay last year, you say you weren't going to fly down. You know, you've flown down again. When you got to Plymouth, get on British Airways.
No, you know, we try and prepare right. We try and do the right things, and it's something I believe in. But again, you know, it's nothing to do with the preparation. And I've, you know, we've said that to the players. We've looked at that, but certainly we've tried to do the right thing, and we'll continue to do that. Okay. Cheers, guys.